At his new press conferences, Donald Trump was asked a question about something in the news. Ghislaine Maxwell, the associate and apparent groomer of all of these underage women for Jeffrey Epstein, is now being charged with a number of crimes. Here's Donald Trump being asked about that, and take a look at the way he responds.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Okay, so we're going to return to the Prince Andrew part where he says he doesn't know anything about that situation in a bit. Let's focus now on the fact that this woman who is, she hasn't been convicted yet, I guess. She's been charged with raping multiple women. One woman says that Maxwell raped her 20 to 30 times. And Trump responded by saying, "I wish her well." Multiple times he said it. She's an accused rapist. And the president, in an official press conference, responded, "I wish her well." Think about how he's talked about other criminals who've done crimes far less severe than raping, a crowd of people. What a bizarre thing to just move past it.
Yeah, think about what he said about people who aren't criminals, who've been accused of crimes, that have been explicitly exonerated of those crimes. What he continues to this day to think and say about those people.
Yeah.
Central Park 5 is the example I'm going with here. He still holds on to the belief that, hey, they admitted it, so therefore they're guilty. I don't know why we're still talking about this. It's a disaster, and it's a nightmare that they gave money to these guys that were wrongfully convicted and spent jail time, years of their life in jail over this. Yeah. So that's his response to them. But this is, "I wish her well."
And so the obvious follow-up question is this him signaling to her in response to a question about whether powerful people will be revealed by her to have been involved? Is this him signaling, "I wish you well, wink, wink, be good, and maybe you get a pardon too"?
That's what Dana Bash and a few other folks have been saying, which I did read this morning. So there's the same term was apparently used when mentioning Roger Stone, when talking about Paul Manafort, two of his associates that were guilty of their crimes. And he looked to assist in helping them get beyond, because there's connections to their crimes that connect to him. And I saw the, not even sneaky, but because it's obvious, but the way that reporter asked the question and brought up Bill Clinton and brought up Prince Andrew, right? He's not going to bring up Donald Trump because Donald Trump will get super defensive and then say, "Get out of here, I can't believe fake news." Mm-hmm. So he set him up with maybe an enemy of his, Bill Clinton, who was his friend, by the way, who set him up with this so he could at least answer in a way that would have more of a non-aggressive tone to it, as we're talking about tone today.
That was clever, yeah. And so maybe signal he's pardoning her, but even if that's not what he's doing, where's QAnon on all this? Like, the associate of one of the most notorious pedophiles, Trump, officially says, "I wish her well." This whole movement, crazy people around the world who find pedophiles under every rock and believe that there's a multi-decade long political organization working behind the scenes to weed out all these pedophiles. Trump's like, "Yeah, she's nice. Hope she does well." And they don't have a problem with that. God, what a dumb but also corrupt and hypocritical movement.
Yes, absolutely.
But anyway, let's also talk about Prince Andrew, because the thing is, he didn't deny knowing Ghislaine Maxwell. That'll come in a month or two. For now, he still knows who she is. He did deny knowing anything about the Prince Andrew thing, which you have to admit on its face is a little bit odd, considering that it was major news. But also considering that he definitely knows about it, because people have been able to find footage such as this from 2015. Him being asked about the island.
The question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem.
What do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
Why are you asking Prince Andrew about it? What will he tell you, since you don't know anything about it? How did you know about it in 2015? Yeah, he brought it up unprompted. The guy didn't mention Prince Andrew. He thought of Prince Andrew. That is how closely he associates Prince Andrew and that island. But now, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it at all. which is weird because, let's see, we also have this footage. This is from December of last year, I believe.
On who?
Prince Andrew stepping down from his royal duties.
No, I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story. It's a very tough story. I don't know him, no.
Okay, so the reason I bring that up is he acknowledges he knows the story back in December of last year, but in doing so said, I don't know Prince Andrew. That's when you know someone's in trouble, when Trump doesn't remember them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a sign of his brain being Swiss cheese, it's a sign of him trying to distance himself from it, which is going to be hard to do when you have a documented history of being involved with this person going back to, for instance, the year 2000, when he said of Prince Andrew, he's not pretentious, he's a lot of fun to be with.
To do what?
To
be with? Or
to
is
be
it a lot of fun to watch from afar and hear about him in news stories? Or is
Exactly. No, to be with him at a party, because that was from People in 2000, and they were profiling a party that Trump and Melania were at, and they were partying with Prince Andrew and one other person. I forget who it was. It was Ghislaine Maxwell, actually, that they were all partying with in 2000. He's saying he's a lot of fun to be with at that party that he was at, with the woman who he's now being asked about. Now, bear in mind, Trump has a long history of claiming that he doesn't know somebody when they become politically dangerous. You might recall Gordon Sondland, his ambassador to the EU. After he gave unfavorable testimony, Trump just couldn't remember who he was anymore. And that's not the only one. You might also remember that he didn't know Giuliani's Ukrainian associates, despite having multiple dinners with them and having more pictures with them than I literally have with my own dog. He said at the time, I don't know them. I don't know about them. I don't know what they do. I don't know. Maybe you'd have to ask Rudy. This is people who gave tons of money to his inauguration. And he was with so many times and he doesn't know them. Which really, JR, brings this all back to the beginning, because you might recall that he also didn't know Jeffrey Epstein, despite back in 2002 saying, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. Who else has he said that about? It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life. But
Maybe
that was in 2002. After all the stuff comes out, he says he had no relationship with Epstein. Yeah, the relationship evaporated.
So has anyone, maybe I missed it, has a reporter asked him about that quote?
I don't know.
Have they said, hey, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because, again, you talking about how he doesn't know people. Even in this answer, this answer to the question that he probably shouldn't have answered about Ghislaine. So he said, hey, I guess they lived in West Palm Beach, or what, not West, but lived in Palm Beach like I did. So I guess you guess they live in Palm Beach. You guess they were nearby. You guess you've run across them a couple times. Bro, you've had quotes about how you've partied with them and the kind of girls, young girls, they like to have around them. You've said it. So now you guess you've heard of them because they live in Palm Beach when you lived in Palm Beach? Just a random coincidence. Yeah, I stepped outside one time to get the mail and I saw Jeffrey and Ghislaine out there and I was like, oh, how you guys doing? You new to the neighborhood? No, that's not how it went down.
No.
I'd like to borrow some sugar next week, neighbor?
Exactly. And look, I don't know. He obviously partied with them, and he knew about Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted it in that quote. And he's saying the same things about Prince Andrew, and Prince Andrew also was using those connections to sexually assault underage women. That does not mean necessarily that Trump was involved in this. We don't know. We have no idea. But knowing who Trump is and things he said about women, it isn't a massive leap.
Trump's
to be able to imagine that he could be concerned.
His pattern for lying it tracks right here.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say.
Exactly. And we don't know. We honestly don't know. We'll see what happens. But the idea that this guy is potentially dangling a pardon over her head to keep her silent when he has already shown that he is willing to pardon people who lie and obstruct justice to conceal his crimes, that's concerning. We're concerned about that. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.